Hello.
Hello. I was
Hello,
getting a bit
everyone.
worried then, because I was thinking it's saying everyone can see and hear me, and I thought then them pictures come up of them people, and I thought I'm not meant to be talking to them, am I? I was sat here a bit on. But anyway, we've
No,
arrived.
no. We're here now and we're good to go. So, hello, Sharon. Hello, Sean, Claire, Zoe. Oh, Michael, my other half, who's behind the screen on the bed.
Hello, everybody. I can't see anything. I can only
Can't you
see
see
you.
this? All right. Have you got a bit at the bottom that says private chat comments?
I don't know.
All right.
What's that there? Oh, yeah, private chat. Comments.
Next to that, comments, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
I can see. That's better.
Yeah. So tonight I thought we would get Maka back on because I got a lot of positive feedback about the chat I did with him before. And we do a bit of a chat, bit of mediumship, see what happens, if anything comes through. But I wanted to be really informal, hence I've not got the collar and things on. I thought I would just come au casual, so to speak. So would you like to say a prayer just to set intention, Maka, or would you like me to do it?
Yeah, you set the prayer, Tony.
Okay, no problem, dear.
Because I'm hoping you've got a bit more idea what we're doing tonight than me.
Not really. Okay.
So you set the intention, then I'll listen,
Okay,
and then I'll know what I'm doing.
All right. Heavenly Father, divine and gracious Lord, we thank you for allowing us to gather together in your name tonight across this virtual space. Father, I want to express gratitude for everybody who tunes in week after week to watch us do our thing. Father, I ask that the veil be lifted between the two realms to allow guides and inspirers for Maka and myself to step forward so we may become clear vessels between your realm and this. Father, as always, I promise that everything we do here tonight will be done with love, truth, and honesty in our hearts. And at the end of this evening, Father, we will hand back to you everything which is rightfully yours with love, honour, and glory. Amen. Now, tonight I thought if we did a bit of a chat, see if anybody's got any questions for
I'll
us.
I'll apologise now if you can hear my cats fighting. Everything's perfectly fine. It's just Nancy's very loud.
Well, I can't for now, but
if you do hear it, it's the cats, and I always have to make that clear because I don't want people thinking it's me or anything that's going on.
Yeah.
It's just Nancy, but she's perfectly fine. She's just loud.
Right. It's just our two dogs are the same. If they set off fighting, they can sound like they're tearing each other apart, and they're not. They're just having fun, and they're not hurting each other. It's just it sounds loud. So tonight, I thought if we just did a bit of a chat, see if anybody's got any questions for us. If a message pops up, then we can give a reading, but it's up to you. It's free flow evening, I would call it.
Okay. Well, that's what we'll do then. We'll free flow. Really, what was I thinking about? There was something that I was gonna say. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Yeah, it was a question that popped in my head about, what I was just interested to know. What's the I don't want to say the worst, but what's the most outrageous thing that people have seen a medium do, or the way that they've worked, or anything like that? Anything that's created a bit of a fuss, really, that's been a new way of working, or anything like that. If anybody's come across that, because I'd be really interested to know more about these experiences and how they've been dealt with. So
I'm not going to mention
might be a good question that Spirit had dropped in my head.
Right. I'm not going to mention names or places where this happened, but I do know a medium that was asked to leave the rostrum straight after halfway through his philosophy, because he started to talk about the Bible and how God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. And, you
Yeah.
know, we need to get back to traditional values and yada, yada, yada. And what's the problem with women getting hoovers and pots and pans and irons for the Christmas presents? Why do they kick up a fuss?
Mm. Mm.
And the chairperson said, "Whoa, mate, can I stop you there? Can you please leave our rostrum, because that's not how we work in this church."
Yeah.
So that's one thing I'd heard. And in terms of new ways of working, I think the most just from my perspective and things I've done, you know, we do these tie-dye t-shirts and things that Michael and I have
Yeah.
sometimes seen wearing. Oh,
Yeah.
some of them are really nice. Others, I think, what was I thinking when I put those colours together?
Well, it's
We
trial and
were,
error, isn't it?
it is, but we were hanging some out to dry, and I could see patterns in the pattern. I could see faces and images and things, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. And Michael said, yeah, we should do a special around that. So I got material and cut it up into squares and tie-dyed it, and we did.
Yeah.
We took it to Worth Church and did a tie-dye special, and it was really interesting. It worked really well. It was really
Yeah.
good fun. Yeah, Michael
I'm
says
really
if any.
interested to think about, you know, the different practices that, especially moving forward, in spiritualism, that we're going to come across, because you'll know as well as me that when you come on Facebook, there's a lot of people doing the same thing. And
Yeah,
some people will start to get tired of that. Some people will start to feel it's too much. Some people will just follow certain people and those kind of things. But we are going to see more of that cropping up the more that people awaken. My
yeah,
problem is that we don't want it to become competitive like that. And what we really need to be thinking about on the lines of our own development and blending that with the mediumship development is how we make that mediumship unique to us in a way. So if you've got a certain flair for doing something, and it gets you in the flow and into that relaxed state, you're at a prime time for the spirit world to come and connect with you and to be able to develop those skills. And I often wonder that when we're sticking to traditional ways of working, that whilst that works for some congregations and things, is that we also have to be balancing this ever-changing environment and things,
yeah,
and the people
yeah,
that are coming forward. So you know, it would be much easier for some people as well as they embark on that spiritual journey if they was to combine it with something that they're doing naturally, because it's giving them that focal point that can just channel all of those energies. I've moved the comments down just so I can see you whilst I'm
Oh,
talking to
no,
you.
that's
So
fine.
if there's any that come up, just that I know you'll flag them up.
I will. I'll drop them on
But yeah,
screen.
so there's lots of ways really that to work with spirit, and hopefully as spiritualism grows, you know, we'll start to move away from this need to go to other mediums. We'll be able to start to find that place of peace where the soul can speak really,
Yeah.
and the spirit can continue to guide us. So I was just wondering if anybody that's been watching mediums or anywhere in these groups and things, if they've seen a different way of working and it's caused any controversy really, just to see what battles mediums are hitting up against, because we all have these fundamentals that we're going to come up against. The same way that you develop in mediumship, you're going to have to develop that skill of public speaking. So we're going to hit these
Definitely.
physical barriers as we
Yeah.
move through it. And I'm just interested to see if we've started to see that, or if anybody's started to see different ways of working that maybe wouldn't be tolerated elsewhere.
I do think on a lot of channels, if you like, mediums pages, and I know in my own mediumship, since I've been doing it on purely on here and not going out to churches, I heard them then.
Yeah.
I heard them then.
They're not, it's because they're coming here that they're playing up, that's why. Want more food.
It's become more relaxed. my
Mm.
mediumship, I think, has become more relaxed, and and since I've become more relaxed with it, it's flowing easier. You know, once
Yeah.
you've made that connection to spirit, it's just coming through, and it's working really, really well. Wow, Matthew, that's not good. Matthew once saw medium swear 12 times in a 10-minute message. Oh, wait, that was me. Matthew, I'm not going to repeat what you said in your last message. The last message I saw you give. Intergalactic whatevers, yes. Anyway, never mind.
So what kind of controversy did you come up with that then, Matthew?
Yeah,
What was people's reactions and things like that? Because that's what I'm saying. To a certain kind of audience, that would probably be quite funny, or they'd accept that, but another audience
yeah.
wouldn't. And I think if we generalize spiritualism and keep it in one place, how do we integrate a diverse, versatile
Yeah.
medium that's developing? You know.
I mean, I again, I won't mention names, but I did see a medium, and her style was, well, fishwife, I would say. And she had a load of viewers. I mean, a huge amount of viewers, and it was very sort of fast bullet point messaging. But a favorite phrase was, "You know what it is? You need to get a bucket of," and the next word started with an F, and it rhymed with bucket of. And I thought, now she's obviously really popular, and she's doing really well in terms of she's got lots of viewers.
Yeah.
But I know if I started to work like that, my guides would just go. And I think it's going to be different styles for different mediums, and how I work in a situation isn't how I would work on here or in a church. But yeah, Mandy put me onto her actually, and Mandy says, "I know who you mean, but it wasn't funny." No, I didn't think it was, but a lot of people were watching her, and she was reading off cards, so it was she would shuffle the cards and then deal out the cards for the person's first name, and then the next card, like for yours, it would be MAKA, and she would pick up the next card and read off that card for you. And it was just, it was very out there. But I'm not quite sure going forward from COVID and lockdown and churches being, I know some churches are opening, but that's their choice. But majority of churches are shut down, and when they get back, I'm not quite sure what they're going to get, because if mediums haven't moved on to an online platform, then they won't have worked for such a long time. And I think people's expectations are going to be different because they've seen a different way of mediums working differently on screen.
Yeah.
And I would find it strange now going into a church, and my approach would be more relaxed and more chatty and informal, and in certain spiritualist organizations that's not going to be tolerated.
No, it's not. It's not
Is
at
it? I
all.
mean, you know
I
the
think,
churches I'm talking about, Maka, and they're
yeah,
not going to tolerate a more informal, chatty, not impersonal. I don't mean impersonal. What do I mean? A less structured approach to mediumship, and it's going to be really, really different, and they're going to have to be different because otherwise they're going to stagnate.
it's got to be different in lots of ways, hasn't it, really? And I just think, like, we need to consider how we appear when we're delivering for spirit, that we are making sure that we get the message across about the hand-in-hand development between the mediumship and the personal development, because you know, just observations that I've seen. Obviously, a lot of things come up for you to like when you're a medium and you like certain things. Facebook does its algorithm and sends you all these different psychics popping up and everything like that. And I've noticed that there's so much coming about stars now. You know, send me stars and it'll put you to the front and this kind of thing.
Oh, I know.
I just feel like maybe it is like in a way that they feel that they can support themselves, but I wouldn't mind so much if we was getting across the message of the personal development of their own soul, but it's just not coming through. And I just think with everything that's going on and the need, like what we have got, the good roots of spiritualism, we need to really branch out now, you know, and start to pick up where it is that the message is not being delivered, or, you know, where it is being delivered, or making that voice a little bit louder. That's trying to branch out.
Matthew Stapley's watching, and he's from Canada. Brilliant medium. If you've not followed him, Matthew Stapley, psychic medium, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I've seen Matthew.
And he's so in tune with spirit, and he's so about the personal development, like you're talking about. And even even his messages are about growth and development a lot of the time, and that's really important. It really is, because that's what we're here for. We are spirit beings who've been given a physical body so we can learn and grow and develop, ready for when we go home. And if we don't do that and we don't take this opportunity, then what's the point of spending 80, 90 years doing this, you know? It's really frustrating about and as
you can't, you know, I mean, I know, and you know, and I probably am safe in saying that, speak for a lot of mediums when I say this, that when people say how long have you been into spiritualism, it's kind of the wrong question, that, because I think it begins far before you're into it, that journey. Do you know what I mean? Far before you give your first message, has your awakening begun? Well before that, and you're on that pathway. You're on that pathway of personal development, of opening up, and it would be wrong to say that you could develop mediumship if you couldn't overcome any fear that may get in the way of that message that you've got to deliver. So, for example, if you was getting a message about, you know, something different to what somebody had come for, so you see this a lot in readings in younger people as well, where they'll come forward because they know that the relationship isn't right, but they want you to tell them that it is, because this little voice that's telling me it isn't, they don't want to listen to. So within that, you're going to have to talk about a heck of a lot of different emotions to get to the core of where this person needs the support. And that's why it's important to recognize the soul development, because their soul will come up and speak, and it will say what it needs. Whether the physical head wants to listen to it is very different. But for me, 10 years before I gave a message was when I had my first awakening, and I was like everybody else, you know, out the door, you know, and they go, oh, they just want to talk to you. I don't care, get them out of here. Do you know what I mean? It's not, you know, I don't like it, you know, it shit me up basically. But, you know, then it's like kind of stops, doesn't it? It kind of like disappears. You like detach from it, but you don't, because that journey to opening up to that awareness, or the possibility of that infinite being, is too much. It's too loud all at once. So it could sort of creeps up in steps, and quite commonly people will have a number of rebirths, a number of spiritual awakenings, maybe in one physical existence.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I've been doing this now nearly 8 years. So, and I'm 50 foot, so 45, 46, when I eventually said, all right, come on then, let's go on this journey together. But it's been a long time coming, you know,
And what
and like
was
you
it that
said,
stopped you?
the fear of people thinking I was an absolute loon.
Yeah.
And
And you see, this is the importance of what we're stressing is the mediumship's there, but the soul development's not quite there. So it stops us. And if we don't deal with that issue, we'll stay stuck.
It's got to be a balance, hasn't it? You know,
Yeah.
you've got to have grown personally to be able to accept the journey that's coming. I just want to
they
pick up
go
a quick
hand in hand.
point. Hi Nick. I've just seen Nick commenting. I'm not going to say I hope you're okay, because I know you're not going to be. I know it was Nick's dad's funeral today, and it was very emotional. But he's watching, and I'm really thrilled that he's watching tonight. And I just wanted to pick up a point I saw going in the comment about money, and I have no problem with mediums charging for what they do.
No,
everybody's got to put bread and butter on the table. And while I was working, for DWP, you know, we paid the bills. But if that's how you are putting bread on the table and feeding your family, I have no problem with that. But there's got to be a balance there's got to be a balance. And like Maka's just said, everybody has value. Everybody's time has value to them. And so it's fine that people charge for readings and things. It's when people are taking out the eyeballs and then coming back for the sockets, I think, hang on a minute.
I think the key thing in readings, and you do get this with people that are going through a lot, is like, you don't say to them, come back next week, do you? Do you know what I mean? It's there comes the time, and I've had this where somebody's lost their husband, they're young, there's been a lot going off with the will and things, and the first time they've come through, and then they feel it's a direct line, that you're a direct line to the other side for that person, and you can't guarantee that they're going to come through every time. No. So at some point you're going to have to, as a medium, to have this discussion about attachment and detachment. Whereas if you haven't developed the soul to gain that wisdom, you're not going to be able to offer what it is. And I'm just concerned that there's a lot of people that I see as I'm looking through that are doing card readings and things that are just talking about what it says on the card. And the problem with these angel cards is I love cards myself, but they are written in a way that everybody's going to understand. Every pack of cards you could pull out and give somebody a card, they'd all relate to something on there. The thing that we need to be doing is getting specific about that issue or what it is. It's no good saying, I just need to send you a bit of sunshine at the moment. You need to get out and have a walk, because the message there's no incentive there for that person to pick up that development. If we're securing it with evidence and facts and what's around them, everybody can be a lot more sure then about what it is that they're meant to be receiving. And that's the thing with mediumship, is they shouldn't be accepting that on a financial value or not. It's fine to have the community, but I think nobody's realistically going to be making the money off these stars anytime soon, because it's a fairly new thing. And after 10 minutes of me watching, I'm sick of hearing about them.
Yeah.
Send me a star and I'll put you to the front,
Well,
like what?
Yeah, it's just a strange way of working with Facebook.
But that's my opinion. Each for everybody, but I am concerned about people's vulnerability.
I am, because I'm not. I mean, I don't know how much they are, but I don't suppose they're cheap. And I agree with Nick. Just before we move on to stars, cards should be a prompt, not the full story. And I agree with that. But what I don't understand is that's sending out the wrong message to the congregation, because I could say to you, Maka, send me however many stars and I'll guarantee you a reading. Now, what's that saying to the people behind who are living hand to mouth and can't
But how
afford,
can
you
how
know?
can you cancel that person within that demonstration like that? Because they could send them stars, they get the reading, and they say, "Oh no, it's not going to work out, love." And who's there to support that person at that moment in time? Nobody. And we have to be careful of this, and they should be considering it. The fact that it's not always being considered worries me about um how much this is creeping up and how much of our spiritualism is just not,
Mm,
do you know what I mean, branching out enough to take hold of that volume. And we're going to end up sitting at a similar frequency if we're not careful. We'll all look desperate, and we're
yeah,
not desperate. We just want to help people, and people
yeah.
do have a living. I don't ask. So if somebody messages me and said they want to come for a reading, then yeah, there is a charge. You coming into my house, I'm giving up my evening. I have to make sure that I'm in the right frame of mind to be able to do that, and my mediumship is worth something. I've worked
Mm-hmm.
hard at this,
Of
and
course
I
it is.
respect the guides that are coming forward. When you're handing over that £20 or whatever, that is your commitment to me to say, yeah, I value what you're doing. Because I can assure you now, if somebody sat there and said that's a load of shit, I'd say, here you go, take your money, no problem. I hope you find a medium. I wouldn't take the money,
Precisely.
and I don't know anybody that would.
Precisely. No, no, you're saying that, and I
Well,
do.
I do
And I've
know
heard of
people
it.
that would, but people,
Yeah,
people,
but we're
people
not,
that I know to be genuine and work from a
wouldn't.
place of love would not do that.
No, no, no. Um, it's like when people book a reading, I always say, no, give me the money on the day or send the money on the day, because I won't take it in advance. It's just not
Mm,
for me. And
yeah.
it's just, no, it's not good. I saw a point then that I wanted to pick up. Just bear with me a second, Maka, while I find it. People are
I hope
messaging
everybody's
quite.
okay, and hello to everybody. I hope
They
you're enjoying it.
seem
Any
to.
questions or just pop in, or
Yes.
if you get bored of it, if you think
Tell
it's
us to
too much,
change the
that's fine.
subject.
Yeah.
And oh gosh, where was it? Who was it off? It was around. Lisa Scott said it can be a bit addictive for people who are in a bad place. It absolutely can.
Mm.
Absolutely can.
Oh gosh, do you know when I were 19 and going through all these rough relationships, I think I went into every stand on Blackpool beachfront when
God,
I were there, and I went in, and they said, "Oh, your favourite colour's red." It wasn't, but it was when I come out. Do you know what I mean? I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
this is, it is now, because they were telling me something that I wanted to hear, but not only that, I didn't know how to find the answers in me. I was still looking out. So I
exactly.
wanted everybody to give me the answer. And then the next time I'm worried about something, I want to go back and I want them to do it again. But what I'm saying is where the spiritualism kicks in with that is those conversations about, you don't
That
need
was the
me to
point
tell
I
you
was
the
going to
answers.
make to you. That's where it was coming from. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to say, oh, Nick Brown, by the way,
Oh,
our
Nick Brown, thank you.
suffragan
That's very kind.
archbishop, says, oh, I like you, Maka. He's definitely one for us. He is indeed, darling. He is indeed. Yeah, where I think we have responsibility as, going back to that thing about passing on, mhm, passing on growth, passing on learning and wisdom. Not wisdom because I'm not wise, but as spiritualist mediums, I feel we have that responsibility to really encourage that growth and prepare people
Yeah,
for the life ahead of them, and
absolutely.
also to tell them that the spiritual growth doesn't stop once their loved ones take their transition to spirit.
Yeah.
They continue to grow, to learn, to develop into almost angels and archangels, if you like, to achieve that level of spirituality. And
Mm,
because I think people think when their loved ones take the last earthly breath and transition, that they sort of poddle about doing whatever and sitting on clouds playing harps and No, there's still a lot of work to do when we get over there. Some will come back as spirit guides and healing angels and things. If you want to
Mm.
healing, I call them healing angels, and so does Jean. But you know, it. I do think we have a lot of responsibility as spiritualist mediums, and when I see it
Yeah.
not
And
being
that's what I'm
given,
trying to say. Mediums need to try and pull out these lessons, separate the ego so that we're sure that we don't make that lesson
yeah.
about us, that we offer the teaching, and
But
raise
how?
that message to try and help people's vulnerability, really.
But I know, Maka, but how many times do you switch on Facebook and see a live or see a big poster emblazoned with this huge picture of a person stood there with like a glowing light around them saying, readings are X amount and this, that, and the other. And there's just, it's all about,
It is,
a
and
lot
I
of them,
feel
it's
to
all
myself
about
as
the,
well.
aren't I clever? Aren't I clever? And it's like, no, no.
Yeah, I mean, people have
Whatever.
got a responsibility that, in the sense, if they want to go for a reading, that they make sure that that's well researched and that they understand fully what it is. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you're going in blind, you'll just be dragged down all these different avenues, because there's so many people in spiritualism that are looking for a way to get in, and it's too soon. It's before those lessons are achieved. So people that are purchasing a reading or looking for a reader, they do have their own responsibilities as well,
They
because
do.
we can all fall vulnerable to being prey to something that we're not aware of.
Matthew has just put a comment. That's why I do a lot of free public stuff. But Matthew, I've seen you work, and there is so much growth in every message you've given, and so much of you put into that reading that people can't fail to come away from your one of your live feeds or whatever, even your Friday Craft Club. Nobody could fail to come away from there uplifted and feeling like, just having spent time in those groups and chatting, they've received something. For me, every interaction of a spiritual nature should provide growth to both parties that have
Yeah,
interacted in that. Do you agree?
yeah, yeah,
Because I
absolutely.
feel like it's the nature of a spiritual interaction that
Mm,
growth goes both ways. I mean, I always say that people are put into your path for a reason. Either you're there to enable them, or
mm,
they're there to enable you, or both.
yeah.
And and that's the big thing, that for me, that's what's got to be there. And going back to
Can I
growth.
just say, Tony, as well? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm just going to say,
No,
just so they don't go offline. If there's somebody that's lost a ring off their finger just recently, can you stay on and just flag up a comment? I'm not going to go into it now, but I don't want you to go offline. It's important. I need to
all
speak
right,
to you.
cool.
So they've either lost a ring just recently.
Yeah, that's fine. No, the other thing I was going to make, and then you can move on to your lost ring if you want, is in terms of what you were saying about your spiritual journey, or your spiritual work starting properly at a certain point when the two things marry, your personal growth. Everything that happens to us happens to prepare us for to give us tools and knowledge and armor to move forward. And I think
Mm,
you would be hard pushed to find a medium who hasn't gone through a lot of crap, because that's how we've developed the tools, the empathy, the growth, and the maturity to do what we do. and
absolutely, and I think
and I
that's
think that's
where we
important.
we meet this sort of like boundary between understanding what mediumship is and understanding what psychic is, because sometimes the skills that we've developed and the lessons that we've learned are really valuable, and we can tune in psychically to whoever is there. And not everybody that comes forward to a church or wherever has a need to hear from a loved one. I've read for a lot of people that have come because they've just lost their job, they've come out of a relationship, they've got themselves in debt, and they're wanting some advice, really, and they're going to take that sound advice from you as a medium. So as you can tap in, yeah, I've seen that. Is that Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, just hold on for me, Paul. You know, once they've sort of, it's okay. I'm going to go into this message because I forgot what I've said. If that's all right. Paul,
No.
I've been sat here in spirit, been telling me about this ring that's been lost in a. I don't know if it was in a car park or somewhere recently. It was like that, and what they were telling me is that wherever this has happened, okay, is they were wondering if it was a sign of it. They thought it may be a sign because they've been feeling like the marriage isn't right properly at the moment or something like that. If you can just let me know if you understand that, and if you're happy for me to proceed. If not, I'm more than happy to speak to you afterwards if you would rather that instead. Just let me know.
I think what you're going to talk about was psychic versus mediumship, and the fact that
yeah, so the psychic skills are very helpful in reading
they
sometimes
are.
when you're
They
helping
are.
people with that, because you know, they may not take that information from a loved one on the other side because they don't know who they are or they don't understand it or something like that, and they're more interested in the psychic side of things. So you know, it's not a dirty word, it's just making sure that we decipher what each one is and that we use them at the appropriate time.
Yeah. There is an odd. So, Paul says he's lost a ring somewhere downtown or in the house. He hasn't got a clue where he lost it.
Well, I can't promise I'll be able to tell you where it is, but it feels to me as though I'm in a car park where this has happened, and it's come off my finger. But do you understand what they're saying about the sign of how it made you, how it either made you feel, or if this is not your marriage, Paul, it could link into where there's a marriage, been a marriage upset or something that's just not right in a marriage nearby it. So it could be somewhere in your family. You know, I'm not going to be too specific on that. I'll just wait to see if you can understand the link with the marriage side.
See, I don't know. I know what this could be. Yeah, Paul's just said Paul's wife passed in December and he took his wedding ring off as a joke because he was telling her off, because he's got his wife's ashes in an urn, and he felt she was laughing about his football team lost to her football team. So he stood her in a corner and said, right, that's it, I'm divorcing you. Took his ring off. He struggled to get it back on. And I don't know if that's the ring he's lost, but so
right,
I think
okay,
that's where that fits.
Fine. That's fine. I'm not cracking up. I knew somebody were here. Well, obviously somebody's come forward for you then, Paul, because I'd not necessarily planned to, you know, do anything other than my cards if I were going to do anything. But they're talking about it being lost in a car park anyway, and about how somebody's feeling as a result of this. There was also telling me as well about they've been hearing somebody talking on the phone about not feeling quite right about something. So I know that somewhere that's going off as well is there's yeah, this lady that's coming forward very strong, she's telling me about somebody that's younger, a younger girl that's been talking to somebody on the phone because they're not feeling right about something at the moment, or they're in a troubled way. And I think this is where she's saying about the link with this. It's a relationship somewhere near you that's not quite right at the moment, and she's eager to get through about this information. She's telling me that they've had like letters mounting up. These letters mounting up. So she's talking about things that where it's really starting to get on somebody. You know, they're being threatened with debt recovery and things like that, she's telling me. So she wants to just get this across. Does that make sense?
It might take a minute for the messages to
Yeah,
catch up.
it's okay.
But he said he walked through a car park yesterday, so you never know.
Right, okay. All right. Somebody's been sneezing a lot as well, she's saying. I think what this lady's trying to do, bless her, is give me everything all at once, and it's making me feel a bit out of breath, a bit panicky. But I think it's just because she's eager to get through, and I understand what she's saying about these letters. She's wanting to talk about these letters. It's lovely when they're nice and strong and nice and clear, but sometimes it takes a bit of just adjusting and blending that energy.
Yeah, loads of letters about finances.
Right, okay, yeah, because this is what she's talking about, and I know that somebody's been very upset about this. I don't know whether there's a possibility of like getting a debt consolidation loan or something like that, but she's talking about this all needs grouping together, and whatever we're going, so there must be some options that haven't been explored. She's talking about, so there may be. It's definitely that you need to get some advice. But this lady, if you'd understand it, she'd be very straight down the line about this, and she'd be very on the ball about getting it sorted out. And this is what she's saying: don't do tomorrow what can be done today. She's obviously very, very important to get this across. Just bear with me. I'm just watching what she's doing. I don't know if this lady used to like be able to like kickbox, or was like just used to have a laugh about like being able to kick with her leg up high or something like that. But it's like she's doing that, and I'm like, I'm looking, but I'm not looking because I'm thinking, don't kick me, you make me jump. Right, okay. She's telling me that you need to look at the, I don't know what kind of phone you've got, but she's telling me you need to look at the numbers that have been called on this phone. And she's telling me that you need to go back over your calendar. How many? And I want to be back to like June, July. There's something around 11th of July or 11th of June, somewhere there she's taking me that, right, I've got to go back to, she's saying there's something that you need to revisit over those months, if you can understand.
Lynn was very headstrong, and she could get her leg up onto Paul's
right,
shoulder.
Okay, well, she's obviously making sure that she's getting across, which is very lovely. She's a very, very lovely lady, but she likes everything out on the table, and that's how she's making me feel that I need to be with this situation as well. But she does want to speak about this in June or July. I don't know if it's 11th, 17th. I don't know what it is. She's saying too much, but I want to be somewhere within that month where there's something significant I've got to go back to.
She went back into hospital on
June the 11th last year. That's when she went into hospital. Lovely. Thank you so much. Okay. Right, she's telling me that there's a little bit of money to come, and I don't know if this is like £500 or something like that. Just a smallish amount, but she's talking about this money that's come, and I think you would know where this is. I don't know if it's coming from a car or a scrap car or something like that, but she's talking about this amount of money. I think it's about £450, £500. I don't think they have tax sticks. Do they have still show the tax in the car? Don't think they do that anymore.
They don't know. The
housing council owe you some money. Okay, she's talking about this coming back, but she's talking about this being a starting point for these other things sorted out. So maybe it's just what you need to like get somebody to take it all over and just pay that initial fee or something. I'd kind of like want to go like more that way than legal with it, so I know that this can be managed and sorted out on a good income and expenditure and those kind of things. She's talking about it don't need to be as stressful as what it obviously is at the moment, but I feel like I don't know if they have tax discs in car anymore.
They don't. We don't
But
know.
she's showing me like him being taken out. So I don't know if there's a memory or something like that to do with these tax discs, or whether she's saying somebody's tax is due, because obviously they still have to pay it, don't they? But that's how she's showing it to me, and she's getting this across as well. And she's saying there's something wrong with them windscreen wipers as well. So there must be light out, there must be noisy.
Yeah. He's getting it all settled
it's all
now. I
getting
know.
settled now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, she's obviously around you to let you know that she's helping you as much as she can. Oh, bless you, Sharon. I'm only as good as they are. They don't all come through as strong as that. It's nice when they do make it clear, but it's because they want to get across that they're around, and they are working towards getting things out. But she's not leaving me alone with this car. She's saying there's things not right with this car. So if you can just let us see, because I'm sure she must be here watching, that you understand it. She'll see your comment before me. So, just if you reply as soon as you can. Yeah, these numbers in the phone, she's saying somebody needs to look at these numbers that are being called.
Mm. Apparently you need to drink some water and refresh yourself, dear.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting ready for a drink, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, if Paul ignores Lynn, she'll seek me out, or if I'm online.
Well,
he's obviously been ignoring her. That
yeah,
obviously
you're well cornered now then, Paul, but for God's sake, please answer me about this car and if there's something wrong with this car, because I need her to just ease off a little bit, but she's not. She's saying this car.
Yeah, do you know somebody with a car that needs sorting out, Paul? Because she's not
going MOT, windscreen wipers, tax.
Oh, bless.
She just wants to know that she's got a message through.
Yeah. Or if you don't, and you know people with cars, get them to check their cars, because it needs sorting.
I know. She's saying she's got
daughter's boyfriend.
Daughter's boyfriend. All right.
There you go.
Paul, please. She's telling me that she's got to go, and she's emotional about it. So I know this lady. When she would have wanted to spend time, she would have really spent time and got things sorted, and wouldn't have wanted things to people to separate until we had reached something amicable and things. And she's really wanting to get that across to you. And you can see it's not my tears, it's the tears of your wife that's just processing them through me, and she just wants to say that she loves you. Okay, all right. And with that, I'm just going to wind that up and say thank you, Paul, for taking what the lady come to say.
She's a lovely lady. She really is. And you got Lynn spot on.
Very strong lady.
First time I ever connected with
Bless
her
you.
was just after she'd transitioned. And oh God, I couldn't move on to anything else until I'd given off what she was giving me, because she was right at me and really powerful energy.
Yeah, she's obviously very busy, because it feels like she's on a really tight schedule. So she's
I can imagine.
very, very busy where she's around, but keen to obviously come back and let you know that she's very close.
Yeah, she never goes far from him. She never really. No. She always leaves her energy around him. I thought I saw another question. Mandy says, I came out of my bathroom, turned into the hallway, and Spirit were there with her arms out, and she walked through them, past them. Will they come back?
Well, they probably haven't left, love, to be honest with you.
They're probably still
they're probably
about.
well around you. You know, sometimes I think when you see spirit like that, you know, it's opened up in stages for you. So sometimes people report this when they've got up in the night from a sleep. It's because we're a lot more relaxed. You're welcome, Paul. It's a lot more relaxed for us, and they can sort of, you know, show themselves like that. But as well, what we have to consider is when we're developing spiritually, is it's not that they're not there or that they go away. It's just that we start to allow ourselves to see them again. So we will start to have a more open clairvoyance as we develop that we will see them more often. Oh.
Oh, I don't know where Maka's gone, but he's gone. Bless him. He'll be back in a minute. If anybody else has any more questions, please drop them in the comment and let me know. I don't know where he's gone. Right, hang on. I've got a gentleman's energy connecting. Hang on a minute. Right. Okay, I have a gentleman that wants to connect from the world of spirit, and as he's connecting with me, I want to say that for this gentleman, it would be we're looking at a recent passing, and recent for me is between now and 5 years ago, and also I feel like I'm coming through with a strong paternal feel for this with this chap, and I want to say I'm not a tall gentleman. I'm about 5'11", so I would put him at around 5'8", 5'9", if that makes sense. And also I want to say that he would have the cause of his transition, I feel, would have just been a cascade of things, if that makes sense. So one thing started to go wrong and then other things fell out of that, if that makes sense. There's something that's happening around the chest as well, and so I don't know if this started with heart or lungs or what this is, but it's right. Okay. And he's telling me that towards the end he was just tired. He'd had enough. He was just tired. And he took his transition home. But I know there was a lady that came to collect him, and this lady feels very maternal towards him. So like mum, or a lady who would have been like mum with him as well. I also don't want to be old with this chap. I want to be... I hate it when they just show themselves to me, because I'm really rubbish at guessing ages if they don't tell me. But I want to say it might be my age, maybe a little bit older than me, so around 54, 54, 55, maybe late 50s. But like I say, I'm rubbish with ages, so don't hold me to the age. And Maka's just come back. Hi, love.
Oh, I'm back. Yeah, sorry, the battery died on the thing. It wasn't plugged in quite far enough.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. And then the phone's now, you have to wait ages, don't you?
Yes. I've just got a gentleman that's connecting with me, Maka, so I'm just
go ahead.
Giving the message off. And
I'm going to grab a quick coffee while you're doing that.
All right, love. I want to say with this chap, I would have spent a lot of time in hospital, and I don't know if that's where he took his transition, but I know I would have been in hospital a lot because I can feel the cannulas going into my arm and things where they're taking blood and doing tests. So I know he would have spent time in a hospital bed. I also want to say that he's Oh, it's taken my voice and my throat's going really dry. Bear with me a second. Right. I don't know if his airway would have been compromised or if he needed help with oxygen, but I just feel like I've got something around my mouth. Paul, Sean, you can still take all of this. Mandy, you can't. All right, sweetheart. I want to say I work hard. This gentleman would have worked hard in his life, and he would have also done manual work at times as well, because I feel like the palms of my hands are rough. So I know during my life I would have been a manual worker at times. Okay. He wants me to talk about the 5th of a month has been significant for birthdays, anniversaries, or passings. And he also wants me to talk about the month of May must be significant as well for the family. He also wants me to talk to sorry, I can't speak. The people who are still in, would you understand where somebody in the world of spirit wouldn't have been able to speak properly prior to their passing, because I feel like I'm tripping over my words and I can't get my words out. Right. So, Sean, your dad passed in May and your mum's birthday is the 5th of March. That's fine. I said I didn't know if he passed in hospital or not. I just know that he spent time in hospitals because I could feel the cannulas in my arm. So he lost his voice prior to his passing, Sean. That's wonderful. Thank you. Sean, I want to say again, he's telling me again, and I know I've given you this before, but he's bringing it back to me. You need to stop people. Oh, I'm sorry. He's given me it symbolically. You need to stop people shading your light, matey. It's like people are trying to cover your light and to dim your light down and stop you shining as bright as you really can. And I just feel like that's important, and he wants it to get it across to you. He also wants me to talk about a journey, and I'm sure, oh, that is so cute.
Well, this is nice.
I'm sure what he's talking about is like we've been talking about, the spiritual journey you've been on and the personal journey you've been on, because he's bringing back what Maka was talking about you're almost at the level now where both things are nearly in balance, so you're ready for your journey. Okay. And as he's leaving me, matey, he's talking about either a St. Christopher or a sovereign on a chain or something, because I can see this round medallion on a chain for you, matey. And he's telling me to tell you that he's walking your journey with you, my friend. And I'll leave his love with you and say, God bless. Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if there must be somebody that's online that must keep a key in their wallet or in the purse or something. It's like they put it in there specifically for a reason. So if there's somebody on there that can understand that, I need to speak to you, please. And if there's more than one person that comes forward about that, I've got something else, but I'll just wait for it.
Okay. A lot of people
these
were
phones
saying,
take ages to come back on, don't they?
yeah, a lot
No,
of people
I
are
think it's just we
saying
never switch them off, do we? We charge them
no,
up
we
before they
don't.
go to use, but
No, no. A lot of people are saying 2 sugars, please, or black and no sugar. You've got about
yeah,
50 to make now, Maka. I hope you've got enough cups.
I know, I know. No,
Bless
I
you.
probably am. I'm
Oh,
always making cups.
I think you're on my link. Sean has a
Oh,
key
so
that
yeah,
belongs to Spirit.
I did wonder because I felt just as I was talking to you, and I felt myself blending in with Tony and the guy that come forward's energy for you. There must be something in the I don't know if you've got a conservatory or something like that, but there's some net or some boil that's just come down or something. I've got a gentleman here saying, can you understand that? I don't know if he's saying about your garden, saying get out in that garden. Can you understand that as well? Been a bit cold though, hasn't it?
It has. It has. I wouldn't be outside yet.
Well, this man must have been outside all weathers.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just waiting for the comments to refresh. Oh, he's just had the voiles altered.
Oh, you've just had the voiles altered. Oh, that's all right then. That's why I could see him coming down and going up or whatever. So yeah, and yeah, this gentleman that's come forward for you, it must have been a man of all weathers. Like I don't know if he would have had one of these really thick jackets that he wore all the time, but it's certainly not bothered about the cold or anything like that. Most certainly not. And I think with this gentleman must grow stuff because he's saying it's the best time for planting something. So it must have definitely been gardening or something like that, like growing expert almost, if you like. Is what it makes me feel like. And I don't know if you'd understand this gentleman as well. It's just his posture is just a little bit more down. And I don't think that was so much. I don't think he was particularly a confident man, this gentleman. But it's saying that he were happy. It was just more a sign that he were in his own world.
He was always outside.
Oh, got lots of evidence. Yeah, and he's saying about him being outside, and he's talking to me about this, just his posture a little bit, and it's just making it significant. Not that it were a problem to him, because he's saying he were all right. He were in his own world, really, with a lot of things. Very, knew a lot of people, but didn't necessarily get into much. And he's saying about somebody that's got a crooked neck at the minute. Do you understand where this crooked neck is?
Yes, he had a slight posture, and people say Sean does too.
All right, okay. So I don't know if then, Sean, if maybe you've been feeling a bit hard on yourself with your confidence lately or something like that. But it's just making me aware that sometimes when we're a bit different or we don't compare to the average, it doesn't affect us. It doesn't have to affect us. It's other people's problem more than what it is ours. And I feel like that's his, this is his message that he brought in his presence forward, that, that was how it was. He was fair with people. He spoke to people. He knew a lot of people, but didn't necessarily invite a lot of people in. And that's very saying at the minute. Just be careful where you're inviting people in. Not into your house as such or like that, but just inviting, people into you where you think, you maybe think that they've got good intentions. The stuff he's talking about. Yeah, talking about this, talking about it being fine. You see, but he wants to get across about, it comes through far too fast sometimes. Sometimes I can't keep up with it and remember what they said.
I know.
About this confidence, yeah, it's saying, all right, thank you. It's saying about these, just being careful who you let in. Some people are better to talk to from a distance or in a certain area. And it's just talking about not letting people into your private space, what's personal to you, really. So he just wants you to bear those things in mind. it's saying that it's like there's like a ticking clock in your head on something as well at the moment. So it's saying that there's been some pressure that's been building up in a situation that's very close to you, and it's like this canister just keeps getting filled up. Yeah, it's just that I don't think that's a bad thing. It's not saying it's a bad thing. What it's saying is that those things are a gift. Just be selective who you give them to. It's certainly not saying it's a bad thing. He thinks that they're good qualities that you've got. He had them as well, but it's just saying, just be selective who you share them with. Make sure that it's a fair deal for you as well, and that's very much how he wants to come across. As talking to me about this can that's filling up though with this pressure. So there must be a situation where somebody's been at loggerheads. I don't know if this is necessarily yours, but there's been loggerheads with the schools and things, it's telling me as well. So whether somebody's had to be fighting for a key worker place for a child or something like that, that's where it's taking me anyway, where there's been some loggerheads between schools, and it must connect near you and not directly with you, because they're showing me it's just to the side. There's a watch he's saying as well. I don't know who's got it. It feels like a masculine watch, but a female's energy that I'm giving it to. So I don't know if this was passed down to grandchild or anything like that, but it's making reference to this watch, and it could be that this watch is far too big for somebody, and that's why it's putting it on a child, because it's making it feel as though it's far too big for me. And it's quite heavy, he's saying. It's solid, so doesn't necessarily have to be from him, but it's talking about where he's seen in it with you as well. And just as I'm leaving you as well, he's saying it's all right about that boil. Somebody's got to iron some curtains or something as well. So as well as changing your boil, there's obviously thing that you're wanting to change your curtains, or you have been changing your curtains. So, get them up. I guess go keywords. Yeah, that's what he's saying about, bless him. But he's saying he's going for now. And when he comes back, them curtains need to be up. So somebody needs to iron some curtains and put them up, bless him, because he's eager to get these things sorted out. But more to the point, he wants to let you know he's around, and he's brought that evidence because just whilst you do let people in and things like that, and you're very trusting, just be selective of who you're sharing it with, he's saying. And then that's his message for you tonight from me. All right.
Bless you, that was amazing.
Full clothes tonight, aren't they? Blimey.
They are.
Nearly knocking me out of the chair.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So what
Suzanne,
time are we on? We're all right for another 20 minutes, aren't we?
Yeah, of course we are. Suzanne says she hates iron. So do we, love. There's a pile in the back bedroom. If you know anybody who likes ironing, send them round to me. They can stand in the bedroom and do my iron.
Oh dear. Curtains as well.
We've got a bit of an echo.
Oh, it's because I put my headphones out, I think.
Oh, right.
Let me put them back in. Yeah, it makes them happen, doesn't it?
Just thinking it wasn't echoing. Why has it started echoing?
Yeah, it does make a difference.
I'm getting wrong. I'm getting wrong.
Introduce me to Maka before. Well, you maybe saw me when I were on a few. Well, it must be about 2 or 3 years ago, isn't it?
It's not. I've not introduced you. He's annoyed because I've not had you on before, but I have. Just it was a few years ago, and then we did a chat with a little while ago, and you wish your hubby would stand in front of us. We can only pass on the people that come through, Mandy. I'm sorry.
Oh bless, there is it, Mandy. Let's have a look then, Mandy. I ain't got anybody here, but I'll pull you a couple of cards.
I was just going to say I'll grab my cards off Michael and I'll pull a couple of cards and see what happens.
We'll have a look at a couple of cards. I'll not go too deep, but we'll see if we can just touch the surface and just give you a bit of positivity before you go to bed or whatever you're doing. Okay. The first thing I'm feeling as well with you, Mandy, is that I want to be in August with you. So I know that there's something significant in August, and I know this relates to either a relationship starting or an anniversary or something like that. But I know it's significant in terms of love. for somebody as well. And I do feel that where that is significant, there would have been a couple of years marriage, or we're into a couple of years marriage as well. So I do feel as though you'd understand that if it's not with yourself, it's very close around you. I feel as though there's some money that I've got, but I want to send it up, or I want to make a donation in memory of somebody in spirit towards something, if you can understand that for me as well. I want to shout the name Ian to you as well, and it feels to me as though this is on this side of life, but there's also a little Ian somewhere around you as well. So just be wary of those names, but I just want to send healing within this name of Ian as well. If you can't take it straight away, it may come to you later. And somebody's needing healing in their knee as well. Somebody's saying to me. I haven't heard from you yet, Mandy, so I'm just hoping that everything's all right. Yep, you can understand all of that. Okay, no problem. I do want to say to you as well, you know, from the cards, what my guide's saying to me as well is that you do feel that somebody's coming round your shoulders at night time. And I think that in itself, it is confirmation for you that this person's really close with you a lot of the time, and they do try and provide that support and that loving energy around you. You've got the bad knee, yeah. Do try and provide that love and support around you, but you know how we have to just see it is that with our loved ones, when they make that transition, it's not that they go away, it's just an adjustment of our relationship. It's just an adjustment of starting to look at, you know, the energy value as opposed to what it was that there was in the physical. So that essence of who there was is very much near you. And you know, I think you look at candles and wonder what the candle's doing and things like that sometimes. You know, candles do blow, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to make up that it could be somebody doing it, because they all do it. But yeah, it can just be a flicker of it that just, you know, gives them that energy or that inspiration to be able to create what it is that they want to show you, just to make you feel that they're there. So do feel reassured that they're there. Okay, over to you, Tony.
Right. Well, I haven't got anything because I don't know where my cards are, but I'm sure Michael knows where they are, and he'll hand them to me in a minute. It's a purple wash in, wash out colour. It takes about 8 or 9 washes to come out. Thank you. I can use yours, can I? Thank you, love. I use angel cards. So, because I like the pictures, basically. I have a set, but I left mine at the caravan. But they are really beautiful cards. And let me see what I can get. I know you're no angel, Michael. Maka knows that as well. Oh, my camera's gone really blurry.
Oh.
Come on, there we are. Let me just have a riffle through and see what I get. Right. Okay. Mandy, I think I was thinking of you when I pulled this car out. This car out? I'm not pulling a car out at all. I pulled the card out. Mandy, would you understand near you where somebody's feeling a sense of discontentment right now? Because the card that I've pulled out for you is a card of discontentment, missed opportunities, needing to open their eyes and look for the positives rather than the negatives in things, because this card's definitely saying you need to look for the positives rather than the negatives in a situation. And this is why this person's feeling really down and fed up, and like they're missing out on everything, and it's because they're not picking up on the positives and moving forward with a positive in a situation. They just keep reinforcing the negatives. And like I've said before on my live feeds, if you hold on to negative energy, it just reinforces and attracts negative energy. So just tell her to look for the positives in life, or encourage her to look for the positives in a situation rather than all of the negatives all of the time. All right. There you go. I don't normally read cards, so sorry if that doesn't make any sense at all, but there you are. Right. Do you want
to? There's somebody. Spirit telling me there's somebody I need to speak to that's doing a fundraising event, and it's been pushed back, and it was really important to him. And they're telling me that this was like something they were doing on their own. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I don't know if it were running or something like that, or jumping out of an aeroplane. But now they're starting to wondering if they'll ever get to do it. I haven't got any more than that in the moment, but I know that I need to speak to the person that can understand that.
All right. There are a couple of people just asking for cards then, Maka, and I've lost them.
All right, okay.
I know Sharon says, Maka, do you see anything for me, Duck?
Yeah, I'll pull a card for you next, Sharon.
And Suzanne Stewart McCarthy says, can she have a card?
Yeah, I'll do you as well there, Suzanne. Was there any more? Is there any more on there at the moment?
Samantha Bradshaw. Samantha, right, I'll pull one for you, sweetheart.
All right, I'll do Sharon and Suzanne, and you do Samantha then, and then that's it for tonight. All right,
yeah, go on then,
guys. Well, you want me to go first?
I'll pull one for.
I'm Samantha. Waiting for this person. Waiting for this person to reply.
Well, I'm keeping an eye on that. Claire Bradwell says she can take the fundraiser that got knocked.
Oh, you can understand that, and it must be really impacting somebody whether they were going to do it. It must have been really important to him to fundraise for this specific event. And I know that where this person is at the moment, they've really come down in mood, and I think that's why they're wanting to take me around that situation.
Right.
Like there's been something on a bonnet, or somebody's got the bonnet marked on a car or something like that. That should link in as well, Claire, with that information. Something to do with this bonnet. Anyway, I don't know what it is.
Oh.
Someone's giving it a right tap. Oh, bless you. I'm not doing private readings at the moment, I'm afraid, because I'm just getting back into spiritualism and I've just started a new job, so it's a bit too much for me. But when I am doing them, you're more than welcome to contact me. But I just come on and do these chats just because it's less pressure for me at the moment. To do it like that, and I can still do what I love, but obviously I do have a busy private life as well. So, I'm not offering private readings, but Tony will have me back again. And if spirit comes forward for you, I'll always deliver the message if they come forward for you. But obviously, we do have to call it time at some point as well. All
Claire's
right.
bonnet's damaged.
Claire's bonnet's damaged. Right. Okay. All right. And there's some. Have you been putting something in the ground in the garden as well, Claire? I don't know if it's somebody's putting concrete in the ground or post in the ground or something like that. But it's showing about something in the garden. It might have come out the ground even. But talking to me about this post, because I know where that is, there's been decorating and things going on. I think a lot of us have been doing things like that whilst we've been off. And you must be picking your tooth a lot as well, Claire, because they're making reference to this picking the tooth. And I think it's because you're thinking about something at the moment as well. And I think you've also, where this has been thinking, I think you've asked spirit to come forward, or you've asked for a little bit of help or a little bit of guidance with this that you've been thinking about, if you can understand that as well, Claire.
They're going to be digging the garden and removing the concrete.
All right, okay, all right, that's all right. Well, we're definitely connected then, Claire.
And I know Claire's been decorating. I was talking to the other day about decorating.
I feel like this is like where I've been thinking. I don't know if it's something to do with business or something where I'm involved in business or something. It's like an idea, or there's something that there's something that you either want to get off the ground or you don't know which way it's going to go. And I feel that this gentleman, I don't know if he's going to tell me who he is, but I feel that this gentleman that's coming forward is trying to actually help you with that kind of thing. And it's talking about printing, so I don't know if you're wanting something printed or whether you used to be a printer or anything like that. But it's talking about printing.
She can definitely take the business ideas and things and printing
Right,
and
okay.
things. Yeah.
I think it's doing I don't know if there must be this feeling, Claire, of I'm worth more that's somewhere in there that's like calling out to you, but I don't know which way to go or which way to take it. And that's what is sort of coming to sort of, you know, just clear the pathway a little bit for you. But a lot of it is about you finding that pathway and you finding where it is that you need to be and where sits right with you. But I know that there's this really great quality with you that's like um, supporting business or coaching business and offering like some kind of business counseling or something like that with you as well, that is like sat within your soul and it's just dying to get out. It's like, let me out of here, and there is, and I can feel this like adrenaline building up in you, but then it's like I get there and then it's like, shit, it's lockdown. Do you know what I mean? I ain't going anywhere right now. And it's like, it sets me back just as I'm ready to do it. It pushes me right back again. And it's just saying, patience, we've all got to learn it, but if anybody's learned it, you've been through enough lessons to just know when it's right, it will happen. But these thoughts ticking off in your head, I think there must be a book or something that you're wanting to get some knowledge about, is they getting your confidence in that knowledge where you might feel you've got some gap is where you need to be right now, because there is something planned for you. It's just got to wait. So I hope that makes sense as well. Accurate. Yeah, that'll do me. Lovely. Yeah. Thank you, Claire. They're working well tonight.
Yeah.
Wish it were like this when I were on a rostrum.
And Claire bought a book last night for that very, very reason. And there you are. It's on screen for you. So everybody
fantastic evidence.
Samantha, I've got for you Archangel Gabriel, and it's talking to me about a situation where you need to be looking at things from a different perspective. You are right. I feel that you are surrounded by people who all look at things from exactly the same way, the same point of view. And it's time to just shake things up and look at things from a different perspective. Also, a lot of what you want to do, just like Maka was saying to Claire, is at a standstill now. And like Claire, you were thinking, I'm gonna, oh, blooming heck, I'm locked down and I can't do anything and we can't get anything sorted and we can't get things organized. Also, you must be able to understand a younger gentleman in the world of spirit who's come forward, and what he's coming forward with is, again, it's reflecting what Maka said to Claire a lot. The fact that you are going back to books, or somebody really close to you is going back to books. Samantha, if you can understand that, please, sweetheart. Because I'm book learning, and there's something that's niggling in the back of my head, so I'm researching it. It is what I'm getting. And also the archangel obviously has the trumpet, so it's time that you blew your own trumpet, Samantha, and understood that you have a lot of things to shout about, and you need to tell people what your value add is, because you don't. You are you're very modest, a very modest person, and you don't like to be like, well, I can do that because I'm really good at that and I can do that. you like to hide your own light under a bushel, if that makes sense. And that's all I've got for you, sweetheart. But unfortunately, we've got 2 more that Maka's going to pull cards for, and that'll be it for tonight. I'm getting a little bit tired, and I need to have a pancake.
Sharon, if you can just let me know if you can understand where there was some digging outside a house, and I don't know if it's because of lockdown and everything, it's just been left like that now, and I'm sick of it, or somebody's sick of this site. If you can understand that first. If you can't understand that, then I'm not going to go into that message. I'll pull you a card and see where we adjust to instead. But just as I was looking at your name, I have a feeling these things come forward, so hopefully they'll connect with you.
That's Sharon Calladine. Oh, yes.
Yeah, you can understand it. Super then. Because I know this, I can't see the lady that's come forward for me, but she's telling me that you've got a photo of it and you look at it. So this lovely lady that's come forward, I know that you sit and you look at this photo. I feel like there might be other people in the photo as well, but she's talking garden's a mess as well, is it? Okay. But you understand this with the digging up outside and everything, yeah? Is that right? It could be the garden or whatever it is. As long as you understand it, that's fine. But she's telling me, this lady that's come forward, because I'm trying to keep it neat and quick and get the point across, that you look at this photo of her in it, so you would know that it's her that's come forward. She's telling me she don't want to give off any more than that particularly, and she's saying somebody's been wanting these floor tiles fitted, or they're putting new floor tiles down. If you can understand that as well, I'll just hold off.
Just while you're waiting for... Oh, her memorial garden. It's her memorial garden.
Oh gosh, oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. So you know the lady it's about, that's good. But these floor tiles, you know about them. Somebody's wanting these floor tiles fitted.
Suzanne Symes, you were asking about classes. I'm having a bit of trouble with my chest at the minute. I'm waiting for cardiology to ring me on Thursday. But once I've got this sorted and we've got things sorted out, then I'll be back in touch about getting a development group sorted. She's got 3 broken tiles and her husband is 2. I don't know what that means.
Identify to do them. Right, okay. Well, whatever that means anyway, regardless of the floor tiles, she's saying to me, you want to look at them roof tiles? She's saying, all right. She's saying, yeah, they need to be looking at the roof tiles first. So there's a leak somewhere in the roof, is what she's telling me, and that's what she's come forward through. She says, and not only that, she's telling me somebody's stretching that Wi-Fi cable too far. So I don't know whether they're thinking if they drag it a bit further, it's going to extend to where they want it. But she's telling me about this stretched Wi-Fi cable as well that somebody's moving. She sees she sees everything, this lady. Look, she's getting me rolling up my sleeves, getting ready to get stuck in. She's like, I'm here and I want to get it across. So she is talking about this with the roof tiles. So important that you just get that checked. I don't mean go up on a ladder yourself, but if you stand outside and look up, you might see what oh, you've been saying there's a leak. Well, she's saying there is. It's these roof tiles, okay. And she's keen to get across about this Wi-Fi cable that's been stretched as well. I felt like doing it with mine before now when it won't work, but she's talking about where somebody's trying to get it either in an extra room or something like that. It don't quite change. And what she's saying is, your TV, right? Okay, it's really important that she's saying your TV. You know how you can change like the width of the program and the size of it. Yours keeps changing, she's saying, and she's saying, that's me doing that. So you must be able to understand that. Please let me know. Because if not, honestly, I think they've got me high or something tonight. Do you know what I mean? She's got me really excited to be here. So she's saying, yes, I've been doing that to the TV. So you must be able to understand it.
It's in the bar.
In the bar, what is?
I think that was the Wi-Fi. is in the bar and
Oh,
the
the
phone is
Wi-Fi. Oh, next into
and
the
the
bar. Oh,
TV.
that was just.
She says, "Oh, for God's
Oh,
sake,
definitely.
definitely."
Yeah, that's what she's saying. She's saying, it's me, it's me, it's me. So, watch out for this. And you can say I'm getting quite excited. She's so excited to get that across to you. It's like, finally, they know it's me. Okay, but she does do these things and she's just keen to let you know she's around. But more importantly, yes, it is a leak. And yes, you need to get it sorted before you do your
Yes,
floor.
yes, yes. Who
Okay?
was the last one?
Suzanne, was it?
Suzanne. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll shuffle a card. It's not that nobody's not necessarily come for you, Susan. I'll just wait for that energy to, just adjust itself because they're coming quite strong tonight. So if anybody else comes in, they'll come forward. But we'll get started. We're just having a look at card for you. Okay, so at the moment you're understanding that there's been I don't know if you're married or not, Susanna, or in a relationship. If it's not you that's married or in a relationship, somebody's in a relationship at the moment, and they've just started putting the foot down with their husband. Bless you. They just put their foot down with the husband about something. I don't know whether we've been agreeing a price on what we're having done or something like that, but I've said no. So you must be able to understand that for me because it's the first thing that's flagged up that I can see. It looks as though there may be opportunities later on to adjust this that we've not agreed suit on. So this is maybe why you've decided to stick. You've got a fellow, have you? So you understand that there's something at the moment that he's either wanting something and you're saying no, no, we'll wait, or something like that. There might be something else that comes up or another opportunity because I can see that there's other opportunities. And it's almost as if it'll be a bit more different next month because I've got March that's been shouted out. So whatever it is that maybe you're holding off for has been because of the lockdown, and they're saying, this will move forward as we go. Would you understand somewhere around you? It doesn't necessarily have to be your partner. Like that, like I'm all shaved, but I've got a little bit of hair somewhere. Do you understand that for me? Because that's just calling out to me as well.
Just wait. See if she responds.
I mean, if not, it might be that you felt like shaving your hair off because because of the lockdown. You look like your hair or something. It's a bit drastic though.
Chap
But
shaved his head. Chap shaved his head. Hates it.
All right, okay, all right. So this is why she's what on about. She's leaving this little bit of hair then because there must be something that he whatever wants to grow it back quick or whatever else. But it's quite different. Oh yeah, they're saying to me that it don't matter. It is different. So I don't know if this would be something that um bothers other people more than what it bothers himself, if that makes sense to you. Okay, but I can see that he's got something that's going round and round and round in his head at the moment as well. Don't know if he's shared it with you or something like that, but it feels like there's something he's itching, just itching to get on and do. So you must be aware of where that is, and it's almost like I'm just trying to like keep things all right as they are at the moment. So maybe you're a person that lives more in the present and your partner's somebody that looks a bit more forward or worries about things in the future and is always planning ahead. It's like I want to say to you that's what makes this relationship good is it's a good balance. So you both pull each other right. But I am getting the nod from spirit that you do the right thing to just hold off a little bit longer and then next month things will be a little bit more different and there'll be a little bit more scope for you to be able to look at what it is that you want to achieve or do. Okay, once these restrictions have eased a little bit, although you've got to, be careful still. There'll just be a lot more shops or things that you maybe got. Not sure what's going around in his head. Well, obviously, don't think that that's the relationship that's going around in his head because that's not what I've said. But it feels to me as though you may have interpreted it like that. That's not what I've said. What this is about is it's something that I'm either wanting to buy or get on and do with or something like that, and you're wanting to hold off with that So just let me know that you fully understood that, because obviously I'm going off after this, and I don't want to have left you worrying, because that's not how I work, and it's not how spirit work either.
No, she knows that they are good together.
That's all right. It's okay. It's all right. I just like to think that you've understood what I've said, and you're okay with that, and I've not upset you in any way, because that's not how we're working. But they are saying that you just need to hold off with whatever it is this expenditure is, or what it is as you move forward. But things are very positive, and from what they're telling me, yes, you're definitely very good together. It's a good balance. And there are new opportunities coming forward for you both in the future that I can see on a psychic level. I don't know exactly what they are, but I know that the energy feels as though it's growing moving forward, and not halted by challenges or obstruction. In any way that's not necessary, really. It's fairly easy for you to move forward on your pathway together. And I know that probably in the past you've had quite a lot of drama around that, but it feels as though it's much smoother to walk forward now. So good luck with that. A lot of love with Spirit. Sorry it's short and sweet, but I do feel as though I've worked, and now they're saying to me, go and have a break, Maka.
Yeah, they're telling me go and have a cuppa.
Yeah, but I've really enjoyed it tonight. I've enjoyed the conversation. Please, do keep Tony informed with any outrageous stories that you've got about how you see mediums working, and how dare they do that and this and that, because that's one way that you can give back as well. I love to hear about that stuff, and I'm very interested in it.
Well, I don't know if you saw, but one of a medium, and I'm going to use, I hate air quotes, but I'm going to use air quotes. A medium told Paul that his wife was ill because she was being punished for stuff she'd done in her life. I was like, what?
For God's sake, honestly.
Oh no, I
no more than he's going to be bloody done, is he? He wants bloody punishing, saying things like that. You can't go around saying things like that.
You can't, and I mean that's one thing I told Paul, because he messaged me about, I don't know how he came to see what I was doing, but he saw what I was doing, and he sent me this message saying, I don't trust mediums because they said this and they said this. And I said, no medium that's working true to spirit would ever tell you that. They wouldn't. They just wouldn't, because that's not how God works. God doesn't punish you. Like we've said, you grow, you develop, yeah. So anyway, so now Paul watches everything we do, which is really good. I hope you've really enjoyed tonight, everybody, and I can see you have, because it's coming through on the chats that you've really enjoyed it. I'm sure we'll have Maka on again soon.
Yeah,
and we'll do it as a night of mediumship rather than a night of chat and mediumship, because you all seem to want them to work. So we'll get that sorted out for you. I'll close the service with a prayer, just to close the energies down and to hand back to Spirit everything which is theirs. And we will see you soon. Don't forget to watch us on Friday, people. Tomorrow night will be Pastures Green. Thursday night will be Nick, who's just been on chatting. Nick and Reverend Lynn. Will be Friday, and then we'll be Sunday. So all the best, everyone, and I will shut the service down in prayer. So if we could join together and blend our energies, please, friends. Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you so much for the time we've been allowed to share tonight. We thank you for the spirit people who step forward to inspire conversation, to inspire questions in their loved ones. Father, we now ask that the veil be closed between the two realms until we meet again. And now, Father, I hand back to you all, which is rightfully yours, with love, honour and glory. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Good night and God bless everybody. I hope.
Good night, everybody.
You stay safe, and we will see you real soon.